So, am I audible?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Okay, okay. So, in today's workshop, we will introduce some basic sensors, like basic what is the principle of those sensors and coding part also, like how we can program those sensors also. Okay. So, with this,
Yes, sir.
okay, now I can present the screen. It's already 8, so I think we can start. So today is good student, like 43 students. Okay. Okay, just wait. So can you raise your hand like how many students are present here? I can see the response like how many of you have raised your hand. Just raise your hand, okay? Only 16 out of 42. This session is recording, okay? So we can see your presence also. Okay, no problem. Okay, this is you can start.
Hitesh,
Hello, guys. Good evening. Hello.
yeah, it's audible.
Yes, sir.
Okay, okay. In our first workshop, we have already seen the pinouts of this Arduino Uno board. At that time, we just teach you what all these are the unlock pins and these are all the digital pins. Arduino Uno will be having 6 unlock pins and it will be having 14 digital pins. And today we'll be moving on with what are these analog signals and what are these digital signals, how these pins will be used for connecting the sensors to the Arduino board. Firstly, we'll be seeing on the analog signal and digital signal. Arduino can input and output both analog as well as digital signals. Analog, what is an analog signal means? Analog signal can take on any number of values. You can see in the graph. Its values are not fixed to a limit. It can take any value, any number of values. But whereas digital signal can take only two values, either one or zero. Like one means it will be on, or zero means it will be in off condition. So to measure the value of analog signals, Arduino has a built-in analog to digital converter. If we are connecting any analog sensor to the Arduino board, the analog sensor will read the analog values and In the Arduino board, those analog values will be converted to digital values, as this board will be having a analog to digital converter inbuilt. So the ADC converter turns the analog values read by the analog sensors and it will be converting to a digital value. Also, when we are writing the code for this to take the input from the analog sensors, we'll be using the function analog read and will be mentioning the pin number where the analog sensor is connected. Then, if we are moving to this digital pins, we'll be having 14 digital pins. And for some of the pins, you can see that there is a some tilted symbol to this. Like if you see this pin numbers 3, 5, 6, 9, 10, and 11, you can see some tilted symbol over there. What this means, like these pins have a capability to work with PWM, stands for pulse width modulation. Like these pins have a function called pulse width modulation. We'll be moving on to that. Like before moving to pulse width modulation, let's analyze a particular case. Like if we are working on any motors, if a 20-volt battery or any voltage battery is connected to a motor, motor will be running. And now if we connect the same motor with some lesser voltage around 10 fire, if we notice the difference between these two cases, when we connect the motor with 20-volt battery, motor will be running with a high speed. And if we are connected to a lesser voltage or 10 volt around, our motor will be running with some less speed. What if we want to change the speed of the motor without changing the battery? Then you guys have an option to connect a resistor to the circuit. The resistor can dissipate some amount of power so that some lesser voltage will be supplied to the motors and motor will be running with some less speed. Uh, but there's a problem connecting the resistor to our circuit because resistor will be dissipating the power in the form of heat energy. There we can notice that uh, the power will be wasted. So without wasting the power supplied by the battery, if we want to reduce the speed of the motor, this pulse width modulation will be helpful in performing the tasks. What basically this pulse width modulation is, if you guys can see here, for example, if you are giving a 5 volt to a motor, this is a time period. You can see this from this first green line to this green line. This is one particular time period. If this is called the pulse. By this pulse width modulation, we can change the width of the pulse in a particular time period. For example, if you can see in this in the second image in the second plot, for only 25% of the time the pulse is in on condition and the rest 75% of the time the pulse is in off condition. So if we repeat this continuously, we'll be getting the average power as 5 by 4, like 25%, like in a particular time period for only 25% of the time the pulse is in on condition. So only 1.25 volt will be supplied to the motor, so motor will be running with some less speed. In a similar way, in the third plot we can see that for half of the time the pulse is in on condition and the rest half of the time the pulse is in off condition. So half of the supplied voltage will be delivered to the motor. So here we are using 5 volt now, so only 2.5 volt will be sending to the motor. If you see in this case, in this 75%, here for 75% of the time the pulse is in on condition, so around 3.75 voltage will be supplied, and in the last case it is 100%, so 5 volt, entire 5 volts will be supplied directly to the motor. What this duty cycle means, it says that for what time the pulse is in on condition, in a time period for what time the pulse is in on condition. In the first case, it is in off mode, so 0% duty cycle. Like same wise, the second one is 25% duty cycle. This is 50, 75, 100. Like that, by changing the width of the pulse in a particular time period, we can alter the voltage sending by the battery to the motor. So thereby, we can change the speed of the motor without adding any resistor to our circuit or without changing the voltage to the circuit. If you see, for doing this pulse width modulation, we should connect when this function is used, we should connect our sensors to only these inputs where this pulse width modulation function is present. If you remember in our first workshop, we shown you that the blinking of the LED. Now by using this pulse width modulation, what we can do is like we can alter the intensity of the LED. Like if you can see, like if you see this animation, if we are increasing the pulse in a particular time period, the intensity of the LED is glowing, and if we are decreasing the pulse, the intensity is getting decreased. We'll be showing the same thing in the Arduino. In the Arduino means in the Tinkercad in our online simulator. I have just added the circuit here. I simply connected an LED cathode to the ground, and I added a resistor in between. Like LED won't allow to pass more current through that. So to reduce the current, I added this resistor. I have connected this LED to a PWM pin. Pin number is 6. You can connect this LED in 5 for 5, fifth pin, or third pin, or 10 or 11. For this case, I connected this sixth pin. If you see the code, I have already explained you like for using this pulse width modulation pin, we need to use this function in our code, analog write, and inside we need to mention the pin number and value. This value means that for what percent duty cycle we are giving to the Arduino board, we have to mention the thing. If you see the code, you can understand directly. There's nothing difficult in this. Firstly, what I did is I have in void setup we should be mentioning the pin where we are taking the output from. In void loop, first I gave the pin number, and here I gave 25% duty cycle. Sorry, this means this I forgot to say this thing. This PWM function is a 8-bit function, so the range of value what we are giving here in the code, it will be in a range of 2 power 8, so it will be in a range of 0 to 255. So here I am giving the values from alternately from 0 to 255. First I am giving 25, then 50, 75, 100, 125, 150, 175, 200, 225, and 250, and again 0. 0 means it LED will be off. We'll see what happens if we start simulating this one. You can notice that like the LED intensity, like it is glowing, its intensity is increasing, and again it is decreasing. Maybe due to some network issue, you can't see that. After that, I'll be sharing this link with you. You guys can try in your system so that you can notice like
We can see this.
like how you guys are seeing here the LED. Okay. This is the same
Sir,
thing happens in the simulator also.
Yeah, it is. Wait,
Yeah.
wait.
Sir, we can use the for loop also, not there.
Yeah, we can use that one also. Okay, I
Yeah,
will
you can
give
try
demonstration of that one. No problem.
you can use that thing also instead of writing this much code. Like for
Sir,
understanding, simply I wrote this much.
Okay.
Sir, what will happen
Yeah, you
if
can
we
ask
use
if you have any.
on the place of 6, if we use the 7 button on the place of 6?
Sorry, can you repeat your question?
So what will happen if we
Yeah.
will connect that wire to the 7 and it's the same code we use?
Okay,
Out of
see,
the
we
digital pins, out
have
of
two
these 14
techniques
digital
for
pins,
modify the voltage. It is wait. See, we have two techniques to modify the voltage level. Okay, like this Arduino is giving 5 volt. Okay, so we can modify that voltage. So for that we have two techniques. First one is ADC. Okay, as you can see, they are analog pins. Okay, so these analog pins basically this works on ADC. Okay, ADC technique. ADC is analog to digital converter. Okay, so for now, this PWM pin is also additional option for modify the voltage. So PWM, that means pulse width modulation. So what we are doing here, like we are modifying the like width of that pulse. Okay. So in Arduino, basically this provide only 6 PWM pins. Okay, but if you are telling that if we connect from 6 to 7, then what will happen? Actually, 7 number pin is digital pin. Okay, that digital pin only give 0 or 5 volt. So you are getting what I'm saying?
Yes, sir.
Okay, okay, this you can proceed. Is there any other doubt?
This 7 pin won't be supporting the PWM function. That's why you can't use that. If you want to give any digital input, then you can use this all the pins. For using this PWM function, you should be using only these function these pin numbers with some tilted symbol. You can see now this number 3, 5, 6, 9, 10, and 11. For PWM, you can use only these pins. If you have any doubts, you can ask. You can stop me in between.
So is there any
Next, if
another doubt with this function analog, right?
mm,
No, sir.
Okay, okay.
if it's clear, then we'll be moving to sensors. We'll start our sensors. Like a sensor is a device that takes the that means it observes the changes in its surroundings and it responds to some output on the other system. If we're using some sensors in our Arduino means what those sensors will do means those sensors will notify the changes around its environment and it will be responding to some output devices connected to the board. What is the need of the sensors means a sensor converts the physical phenomenon to a measurable. Like if we want to measure temperature directly means you cannot do it now. Instead of that, if we use some sensors, those sensors will be helping us to detect the temperature changes in our atmosphere, and it will be converted to any analog value, and it will be displayed on an LCD. We're using LCD as output. Like that, in many other cases, the sensors will be helpful. We'll move on. You'll be knowing what are the sensors you'll be using. What are the advantages of these sensors? We'll be moving to applications of the sensors. These sensors are widely used in all the fields, in automation, in medical and healthcare, in manufacturing companies. By using the sensors, we can monitor the operations, we can control the operations. Also, we can improve the performances of the devices by using the sensors. You can see there are different types of sensors. Like you can see some of the sensors are here. The sensors will be used for getting some any movement, any in like next to me, Lalit will be present. Lalit will be explaining you some sensors in today's workshop, like IR sensor, LDR sensor, this PIR sensor. And in the upcoming workshops, we'll be teaching you many sensors. For today, we'll be learning 3 sensors. Lalit, you can continue. If you have any doubts, you can stop me in between. You can ask.
So
The
is there
sensors.
any doubt?
The sensors part, this is just basic of the sensors. From here, the earlier sensors he will be explaining. If you have any doubt in this part, like analog write part or PWM part, you can ask.
Sir,
Yes.
can you explain why for PWM pins there will be range from 0 to 255?
Yeah.
Yeah. That is a
Actually,
this. Yeah, Shreya.
okay. Actually, do you know about PWM? Like, what is the mechanism behind of this PWM?
No, sir.
See, okay. So what we are doing here, like, we are delivering that values to the output, like LED. Okay. So basically, this microcontroller is a 8-bit microcontroller. Okay. So it is only supporting 8-bit ADC or 8-bit PWM. Okay. So we can only deliver 8 like 8-bit values at a same time. Okay, at a time we only can deliver 8-bit values. So you can calculate, like, if we are delivering values with the help of 8-bit, so what should be the range? What should be the range? Like 0 0 0 0 and then 0 0 0 0, and next value is 1 0 0 0 and 0 0 0. Okay, so you are getting what I'm saying.
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
And then next one is, next value is, how you will calculate 2 in form of binary form, like in 8-bit 2. So 0 1 0 0 0 and then 0 0 0. Okay, so that's how this microcontroller only can deliver 8-bit values. Okay, so that's why it is the range of these values from 0 to 255. Okay, we are considering that zero value also, that's why it is 255, otherwise you can say 256. Okay, so your doubt is clear, like,
Yes, sir.
okay.
Akshit, see,
So
as this is a 8-bit controller, so the range varies from like 2 power 8, no, if we are converting
yeah,
to
yeah,
binary, 2 power 8 is 256 now.
yeah, yeah,
As we are
Yes,
taking
sir.
from 0, it will be, the range will be from 0 to 255. We are considering 0 also, that's why will be,
yeah, yeah,
the
that's
range
why
will
we are
be
saying
till
that we are
255.
0 to 255. Okay, so Lalit will explain like basic working principle of these sensors, and then after that I will give the demonstration of these every sensors. Okay, in the end of this workshop.
Like after explaining each sensor, Harshit will be connecting the same sensors to the Arduino board and he will be showing you how they are working.
Okay, so Lalit, you
Lalit,
can start.
you can continue.
Yeah, I'll carry forward the discussion from here. Okay, let me share my screen. Okay, the slides are visible, right?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Yeah.
Yes, Lalit, yes, yes, you can continue.
Yeah, in today's workshop, we will be mainly focusing upon three sensors, that is LDR, IR sensor, and PIR sensor. So let's go one by one. The first sensor we are introducing you is this LDR. It is also known as photoresistor. See, in the name itself, it suggests that it is a light dependent resistor. It is a resistor that depends upon the light. It looks like this one similarly like this one. In the circuits, you will be using this symbol. So, so basically, what is an LDR is? mm, it is nothing but a resistor which depends upon the light. Uh, its characteristic is that it changes its resistance depending upon the amount of light that falls on it. See, in this animation, see, you can see when there is no light, there is no path through the LDR. The LDR won't allow, will not allow anything to flow through this. When the light falls on the LDR, then it allows something to flow through it. Yeah, the characteristic of the LDR is like that. Yeah, nothing much about the LDR. The main thing you should remember about the LDR is it depends upon the LDR. It depends upon the light. It is mainly used where the light plays an important role in the circuits or some other devices where the light plays an important role. Then this LDR is used because physically it is difficult to turn on the switch when it is dark. Uh, turn off the switch when light comes. It is difficult, right? So it senses the light and it behaves as well. So we will see this application in the Tinkercad as well. See, this is photoresistor you find in the Tinkercad. See, it looks like this. Both it has no polarity, like resistance has no polarity, resistor has no polarity. It looks like this. Photoresistor you will find, you can search here photoresistor and you will find this one. See, this is the basic circuit I have connected here. I will first explain the circuit, then we will go to the code of the circuit. Yeah. See, first the pin of the LDR, one pin of the LDR is powered up. See, 5 volt of the in the Arduino, 5 volt pin is connected to this, and it flows. This 5 volt flows through this one pin of the LDR, and other pin of the LDR is connected to this resistance, and this resistance is grounded. See, this ground is connected here, and this wire is connected here. So this terminal is grounded here, and this terminal is connected to this digital 13 pin. This, remember, this is not a pulse PWM pin. This is normal digital pin where we will where we will take input from this LDR, and we will using this in our code. This mainly we are connecting this to the digital pin to read the input from the LDR. You can also connect this to the analog pin. That will be as assignment to you. I will explain at last what mainly is assignment. I will explain about this working when it is connected to digital pin. See, coming to the LED part, see, when you are working in the real time, please make sure that you connect this LED far from this photoresistor, because when you simulate this one, there are chances that if this LED turns on, then this light may fall on this LDR, then you may face some problems. So when you are working with this in real time, please make sure that you connect these apart. If you connect this in this end, then connect the LED in the other end. See, coming to the LED connections, see, anode, as we have explained, this connected. It is connected to another digital pin. It is connected to second digital pin, and the other thing is grounded. We have given some resistance here, and also we have given some resistance here. I hope this circuit is clear to you. Can I proceed to the code?
So is there any doubt?
So this
Yeah.
this LDR 1 point is connected to two things, that resistance and the node. This terminal
One terminal is shorted, and this one is connected to this one to sense this one. Actually, this is shorted, but we are taking this wire is connected to take the input from the LDR. Since LDR senses something, right? So we want to take something from it. So we have connected this to the digital pin, so we can read something from this pin. We can get something from this pin. So we have connected this one.
So if that was shorted, then why we do need to use that resistance there?
See, like if I will give you an example, like I am using a resistor, okay. So after that, if I will short that resistor, so what do you think? Like from which way and the current will flow? From the shorted wire or from the resistor?
From the resistance.
From the resistor. Okay.
Shorted wire.
From the shorted.
Why shorted wire?
It will
Resistance
take
is zero,
which
sir.
uses only less energies.
Yes, because shorted wire have less resistor than that resistor. Okay, less resistance. Okay, so that what we are doing here. Okay, so just to see this, see this diagram, this sketch, this design, and then solve your query. Okay, okay, I will explain like why we are doing this. So I already give you a hint. So just think why we are doing this like this. Okay. Yeah, why we are doing like this. Lalit, proceed. Okay.
Yeah. Coming to the coding part of this one, I will roughly explain this, and Harshit will be explaining this in the detailed manner. Yeah, first, this LDR pin is connected to 13, so we are defining LDR pin as 13. It is connected. These are called global variables. We are defining in here, so we can use them in the further down the way. So we are defining LED pin. We have connected to pin 2, so we have defined here. So wide setup, we are defining the pin input or output. See, pin mode LED pin. LED pin, it is an output because we are saying something to the LED. If something happens, you should glow. If something does not happen, you should turn off. We are instructing the LED, right? So it is an output. LDR pin, we are taking input from the LDR because LDR senses something, and it will not, it will should store in it itself, right? So we are taking input from the LDR. It senses, and we are taking input from the LDR and input from the LDR. Yeah, that's this serial dot begin. This 9600 indicates that how fast the data is sent from Arduino board to your laptop when you connect it directly. This is 9600 bits per second. This is the speed how fast the uh, Arduino board uh, gen, uh, will pro, uh, will generate values to your laptop. In your laptop, you can find this serial monitor where this instructions will be printed. Coming to this wide loop, see here we are defining int I. This we are reading the input from the LDR. See, LDR is connected to pin 13, right? So, digital pin. So we are using digital read. We are reading that and storing it in the I, this variable. And further, we are using if loop. We are using if, and if I is 0, if nothing is falling on the LDR, if it is 0, then we are saying that it's dark, so LDR should turn on. We are writing digital, right? LED pin is high. We are saying that LED you should glow, and we are printing that this message, it's dark, LED should turn on. Else, if light is falling, then I is 1. Then we are turning off the LED because light is there. So we are turning off the LED and we are printing this message. It's bright, turn off the LED. And we are providing some delay between them. Now let's start simulate and see what happens. See, here you can find serial monitor. If you click on this, you can find the message that is printed here. See, when you click on this LDR, you will get this type of slider. This is dark, no light is there here at this end. This is bright. See, you can see the sunlight of picture. When I increase this slider from this 10 to that 10, you can see the change of the printed message, and LED is also turned off. See, initially LED is turned on because no light is there, and message is printed as it's dark, turn on the LED. When I increase this light, LED is turned off and the printed message is turned off LED. Yeah, that's all about the LED LDR sensor. Any queries?
Okay. So is there any doubt?
Extension, sir.
Okay. Okay. So Lalit, let me show like this LDR.
Yeah.
So I am using same circuit for the demonstration. So I will show you a physical view of this LDR one. Okay. Okay. I think you can see this one, this circuit, right?
Yes, sir.
Okay. So what we are doing here, like we are using that LDR. So in real life, we will use like a module of that LDR. Okay. So this is the LDR module. I think you can see, and you can see the LDR is connected at the top of this module. This one is a LDR. Okay. So what I will do, like I will focus some LED, like some light on this LDR, and this like this LED will turn off. Okay. You just wait. Okay, Lalit, can you stop your presentation? Okay. Okay. So I think you can see the code, right? Hello.
Yes, we are able to
Yes,
see.
sir.
Okay. So here you can see I have defined two variable, global variable, LDR pin and LED pin. Okay. So LDR pin we are defining 13. We are assigning 13 number pin to LDR pin variable, and okay, and then second number pin to LED pin. Okay. So first in void setup we are defining like mode of those pins, and CL begin this syntax for basically for communication. So with the help of this syntax, we will use a serial monitor. Okay. So uh, now in void loop, we are defining another int variable in which we are storing the value of like LDR pin. Okay. What value we are we are getting from that LDR pin. Okay. And then if the value is one, then LED like that pin will be high. Okay, LED pin will be high, and then serial monitor will show us that it's turn on the LED. Okay, if that value will be zero, then it will else condition will execute, and then LED pin will be low, and serial monitor will show us that it's bright. Turn off the LED. Okay, now just see this. You will understand what I am saying. Okay. So I have I have this LED. Okay, so as you can see that another LED is already turned on. Okay, so when I will this keep this LED near to this LDR, so this LED should turn off. Okay, so I think you already understand that coding part, right? Just respond so that I can proceed.
Yes,
Yes,
sir.
sir.
Okay.
Yes, sir.
So as you so okay, so I am keeping this LED near to this LDR module. Okay, so you will see that the another LED will turn off. Okay, just clear it. See, it's turned off. Okay, and okay, let me share the screen also so that you can see the serial monitor. Just see both the screen at the same time. Uh, okay. So as you are seeing that it is dark because there is no light near to this LDR. Okay. So the message is printing like it's dark. Turn on the LED. So turn on LED. That means when we will keep this LED near to this LDR, then this LED will turn off, and the CL monitor will print its bright turn off the LED. Okay. So let's see if it will work or not. Okay, just wait. Okay, I think you can see LED is turned off, and you can see also the message what is printing. It's bright. Turn off the LED. So is it okay? Like I think you can understand what is happening here. Hello.
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Okay. So LED is turned off when I keeping this another LED near to this LDR. Okay. So this is the physical demonstration. Okay. So Lalit, we proceed with another sensor.
Yeah, yeah, it is clear about LDR, all about. Is there any queries
Yes,
about
sir.
LDR?
I will explain that part also, that why we make that type of circuit. Okay. Okay, Lalit, proceed with another example.
Yeah, moving further down, moving to the another sensor. Yeah, next sensor is this one, IR sensor known as infrared sensor. It looks like this. It has three pins, and these two LEDs, not LEDs, but it looks like LEDs. See, you can see the part name of those parts. This is the transparent LED is an emitter, IR emitter, which emits IR waves continuously when it is powered up. When it is given some power, then it continuously emits some IR waves to the surroundings. See, it has three pins. One is digital. One is uh, power pin where you will be supplying power to this sensor, and another is ground, and this is output pin. Output pin. Whenever this senses any object, then it will be sending a message to this pin, which will be connecting to the Arduino. Yeah, this transparent part is IR emitter, which continuously emits IR waves, infrared waves, that to the surroundings. Whenever an object is placed in front of this one, then these waves will be reflected and sensed by this IR receiver. This receiver receives the IR waves, and whenever it receives the IR waves, it sends a message signal to the output pin, which you will be connecting to the Arduino. That's all. Here, yeah. See, here you can see the working diagram of this IR sensor. This IR LED, which emits the IR waves whenever an object is placed, and reflected IR wave is sensed by this photodiode, is nothing but a receiver, and it passes the message to the output pin and to the Arduino. See, here we'll be having one doubt, because in our surroundings many IR waves will be presented. Many IR waves is there, but this specific receiver will only sense the IR waves that are emitted by this emitter, because these both are tuned at same wavelength. The wave Both are tuned at same wavelength. The IR waves that are emitted by this emitter have some specific wavelength, and this receiver only senses those waves have same frequency that are emitted by this emitter. Uh, yeah, that's about this IR sensor. Anyone has queries about working of the sensor?
No, sir.
So
Yeah.
is there any doubt regarding this IR sensor?
This part is clear, right? This emits IR waves continuously when an object is placed in front of this. That IR waves reflect, and those are sensed by this receiver, and it passes the message some signal to this pin, and it will be passed through the Arduino.
Okay,
Yeah.
Kalpesh have doubt. Kalpesh, can you unmute yourself and like explain your doubt?
Sir, I was asking if both of the sensor and the transmitter are next to each other, won't they misinterpret the distance instead
See,
of
actually, the direction of these two LED and the IR receiver and IR emitter, no? This is the direction of these two sensor in forward. Okay, in forward. So if you will keep if you will keep this IR receiver in front of this IR emitter, that will like misinterpret each other. So right now the direction of these two sensors in forward. Okay.
Yeah, I hope it's clear.
yes.
It is not like that. It is like radiating, radiating radiation in all direction. Okay. Lalit, can you explain this next one slide? I think that will be clear. Yeah, this one.
This one.
Yes.
Yeah, here you can see the direction of the IR waves. Both are placed in the forward direction, right? So there will be no mismatching of those waves.
Okay. Okay.
Yeah.
You stop this presentation. I will give the demonstration. On this
Yeah,
slide.
just a minute. Okay. Like when you search for this in the Tinkercad, you will be finding this IR sensor, which this IR sensor only has a transmitter. In the Tinkercad, they are not providing the receiver, so you will not be able to find this type of sensor in the Tinkercad. For this, you will be able to, you should use some remote, see IR remote. This works as a transmitter, receiver, and this is a transmitter. When you press a button, the IR waves will be received, and this transmitter this receiver will be receiving those waves. But writing the code for these switches, these buttons will be so complicated. So Harshit will be demonstrating the thing in this.
Okay.
Yeah.
So now I will explain like the working of this IR sensor. So Lalit, stop your presentation.
Yeah, just
I think my screen is visible, right? Hello.
yeah, we can see.
Yes, sir.
Okay. So first, I will explain like the coding part, and then I will give you the demonstration. Okay. So what we are doing here, like first we are declaring global variables. So LED pin. Second pin is we are assigning this pin to LED pin variable, and three number pin to IR pin. Okay. And in void setup, we are like declaring the mode, what mode that LED pin, IR pin here. So LED pin we are declaring is this pin as a output, and IR pin is a input. Okay. So I think you are getting why we are declaring LED pin as output and IR pin as an input.
Yes, sir.
Yes.
Okay. Okay. The serial begin. This is only for communication, and so see. I have declared int variable in which we are receiving the values from IR pin, that means IR sensor, from IR sensor. If the value is 1, okay, then it will low that LED pin, that LED. Okay. If the LED pin if the value is not 1, like if value is not 1, then that value will be 0. Okay. So at that time LED pin, that LED will become high. Okay. So you also can see the values also. I will open the serial monitor so that you can see.
Sir,
Yes.
sir, I equals to 1 means it receives value.
No.
It receives
Actually,
that value.
see, actually, the working of this IR module is little bit different. You have to, if you want to understand, then you have to go in deep. Okay. So I is equals to 1. That means no object is in the front of these two sensors. Okay. And I is equal to 0. That means some object already come in the front of the sensors. Okay. Just see
And
this.
sir,
Yes.
you have used the same for that LDR sensor.
Yeah. Actually, functioning is functioning is the same. Even if you will another another sensor also, digital sensor, then you can use this same code, no problem. Okay. So we are only introducing some different types of sensors. Okay, like they are different.
But is because sir used in Tinkercad, sir used 0 there
There.
in LDR. Yes, sir. In Tinkercad when sir show.
This one is for IR, not LDR.
Yeah, as Harshit said, this working is somewhat complicated. You should.
If you want, then like you can do more research on internet. Okay, if you want to like understand the deep understanding of this IR sensor. Okay. So see, from any digital sensor, okay, from any digital sensor you will get only 1 or 0 value. Okay. From analog sensor you can get a range like 0 to something, like 0 to 1, 0 to 3. But this IR sensor, this is only the digital sensor. Okay. Actually we have digital sensor, we have IR module. So IR module, it is basically a digital sensor. You can use analog also, but for that you have to create a on circuit from the scratch. Okay. this is the main disadvantage. If you guys are in like college, then we can explain everything. Like analog also, we can explain analog also. This is the main disadvantage. Okay, no problem. So I'm sharing the video also. Just wait. So I have connected the board. So what value you are getting? 1. So 1, that means digital light. It is writing LED pin as low. Okay. So LED is turned off. Okay. Just wait. So I think you can see this is our IR module. It is same as shown in presentation. Okay. So like I will keep one object at the front of this IR module, then this LED will turn on. Okay. See. Can you see that LED is turned on?
Yes, sir.
Yes,
So
sir.
if I will keep this my hand away from the IR module, then LED will turn off. Okay. Now see that serial monitor. What is the value right now? 1. And if I will keep like my hand in the front of this IR module, then the value will become 0. So I think you can see. Can you see the serial monitor?
Yes, sir.
Okay. So value has become 0. Okay. So that's how IR module basically work. If you want to do more research, then you can do research on internet also. Okay.
Sir, but why the object has to be so close to the sensor?
See, if you want, then you can increase the sensitivity. Okay. Can you see this potentiometer?
Yes, sir.
Like this is a blue one. This blue one is a potentiometer. Okay. So if you want, then you can increase or decrease the sensitivity, like range of this module also. Okay. So you are getting what I'm saying.
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
From this distance also you can like you can achieve your goal. Like if you want that this sensor should work at this distance, then you can just increase the value of this potentiometer. Just wait, let me increase the value. I will show you. Now see, I have increased, I have just changed the value of this potentiometer. Okay, just by rotating this potentiometer. Now, as you can see that from the longer distance, this sensors will work. Okay, see. Can you see it?
Yes, sir.
Yes,
Yes,
sir.
Yes, sir.
Okay. So with the help of this potentiometer also, we can increase the distance. Okay. Okay. Okay, Lalit, just proceed with the another sensor. So, is there any doubt regarding this IR module?
Yeah,
IR
is this clear about this IR sensor? Any queries?
So, is there any doubt? Like, if you have any doubt, then you can ask. Okay. Just raise your hand if you have any doubt. Okay.
Okay, then
Okay, everything proceed.
we'll proceed to the next sensor.
Yes.
Yeah, next is this PIR sensor. It's nothing but an infrared sensor, but this
Sir,
is
please
passive.
share your screen.
Oh, sir.
Yes, Akshat, you have doubt?
No, actually, I did not share my screen.
Oh, okay.
No, it is visible, right?
Yes, sir.
Yeah. Next, this is the sensor, PIR sensor. It is passive infrared sensor. It looks like this. It's nothing. It's similar to that IR sensor, but this won't be having that transmitter. This won't transmit that IR waves, but it detects the motion of human, animal, in its surroundings, in its in its effective region where this receiver works. It is similar to that IR sensor, but this won't be having that transmitter which transmits the which continuously emits that IR waves. It only detects, it only receives the IR waves from the surroundings, and it passes the information. Yeah, it also have three pins. One is one is power pin, where we will be supplying power to this sensor, and another is ground, and the rest output pin where we will be getting the output where we will be taking the input from the sensor. Yeah, this basically defines. Sorry. This basically explains the working of this PIR sensor. See, this bulb-like structure, this is Fresnel's bulb, we can say. When you turn on the torch, it projects some beam light. It projects like a beam, right? It also works in the specific area. It has some distance, like the IR sensor, where from that specific region, if any object moves, it detects the motion of that object, and sends the message to this output where it will be connected to the Arduino.
So this output is digital or analog?
This is
Digital.
digital. It is digital.
Yeah. Yeah.
So is there any doubt like regarding this PIR sensor? See, we are explaining only basic working of these sensors. Okay, if you want to learn like a deep if you want deep understanding of these sensors, then you can do more research on it.
Resources will be provided after the workshop. Then you can.
Yes, actually, I have this module also, but due to some technical problem, I'm not able to show you. Like this module is not working actually. That's why I'm not showing this PIR sensor. But it is very simple. You can easily use the sensor with Arduino Uno, with the digital only digital functions. Okay, digital read and digital write.
Yeah. Nothing much about this sensor. It only detects the motion of that motion of any animal.
Motion, like it is detecting the heat, like heat radiation.
Yeah,
Okay,
heat
so,
or temperature based on the temperature.
yes. Okay, show the that pseudocode and explain on Tinkercad.
Yeah, working is fine, right?
Yes, you can close.
Yeah, you go to the Tinker. This is the pseudocode that I will explain in the Tinkercad itself. Yeah, in the Tinkercad, you can search here PIR sensor. You will be finding this PIR sensor. So yeah, this is PIR sensor. It basically has, as I have told before, three pins. One is ground, one is power, that is, we will be supplying power to this, and this signal is the output, where it sends the, where when it sends us the output, it sends the output to this pin, where we will be taking the input to the Arduino. Let's take this apart. So yeah, this is the main circuit. See, the 5 volt of the Arduino is connected to this positive, and ground is connected to this, and same this one, connections positive to positive, negative to negative. Then this becomes positive, this becomes negative, then this power terminal is connected to the positive, and this ground is connected to the negative. And this pin, signal pin, you can connect to any of the output pins, any of the these pins, where we will be taking the, where we will be reading the input from this pin, and working according to that input. Now coming to the LED part, one terminal is grounded, as you know, and the other terminal is connected to another pin, where we'll be giving instructions to this LED. When something happens, you should turn on. When something happens, you should turn off, like that. Yeah, this resistance is provided to reduce the current through the LED. Yeah. Any doubt about the connections? We'll be moving
So,
forward.
any doubt regarding this in the circuitry of this PPIR? If you have any doubt, then say yes, then say no. No doubt.
No doubts.
Okay.
No doubt.
Okay, we'll be proceeding to the coding part of this PIR sensor. Unlike
Okay, Kalpesh, let it wait. Kalpesh, I will show the physical view of this PIR sensor. Okay, but I cannot show the actual working because this sensor actually it is not working. I don't know why it is not working, but I will show you the physical view also. Okay, no
Sir,
problem.
sir, how we
Yes.
will able to know from a physical equipment that which pin is for input, which is for ground, and which is for power?
See, you have internet. You can just research. Just type that sensor name and pin mapping. Okay. Okay. So you will get the information that which pin is ground, which pin is power pin. Okay.
Yes.
like basically from sensor we are taking input, right?
Yes.
Sensor something, and we want that that thing what sensor does. So we are considering this as an input. Coming to this LED, according to this sensor, we are giving instructions to the LED to glow or to turn off itself. So it is considered as output. See, we want what this sensor senses. We want this, so we are considering this as an input. This LED, giving instructions to this LED to turn on at this time. At this instance, you should turn on. At this instance, you should turn off. So this is considered as output. This is your doubt, right?
Yes, sir.
Yeah. Is it fine?
No, sir, like in physical equipment, like how we will know that, like here you have taken the outer thing is as output for that sensor, and in
Okay.
diagram
Okay.
you show that
Okay.
middle is
Just
the
wait.
output.
Wait. Wait. Lalit, just stop your presentation.
Yeah,
Just
yeah.
for 2 minutes. So I think you can see this module, right? Can you see this module?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
See, these modules have 3 pins. Okay. So you know that if you are going to like provide supply to any module, then there will be a 2 pins. One is power pin and the another one is ground pin. Okay. So the right one, if you will buy any module, then there is already written that which pin is like power pin, which one is ground pin, and which one is output pin. Okay. So I will show you that where it is written. Okay, wait. So can you see that what is written here? VCC out and ground.
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Yes,
Can you see? So
yes,
like with the help of this also you can understand which pin is ground, which pin is output pin, and which pin is uh, power pin. So it's not visible for
Yeah, just pin the video. You will be able to see.
pin that video. Yes, no one is saying. So I think it should visible.
Harshit, do one thing. Share your screen and you pin yourself. Then everyone can see them.
Okay, no problem. Just wait. Sorry for the demonstration. I think this code the sensor is not working. So now it is fine. A little bit, like I think you can see the text. What is written on the sensor? VCC, right, left one VCC, and the middle one is out, and the right one is ground. Can you see this one?
Yes, sir.
yes, sir.
So your
Yes,
doubt is
sir.
clear, right?
Yes, sir.
Okay. Okay, then. That's it. For another, like, okay, this is the last one. Okay, so just give the demonstration and link the card at least.
Yeah, yeah. Yeah, coming to the coding part of the sensor. See, LED we are connecting to the 13 pin of the Arduino. We are initializing LED to 13, and sensor output of this to the second pin of the Arduino. Then this is 2. Then this state is initially low. That signifies that initially this PIR sensor is not detecting any object. We are initializing it to low. That means it does not detect any of the objects. Yeah, coming to this this I have created a variable. Then this we will be using further down the line. I will be explaining this. Then coming to the void setup, LED as output and sensor as input, as we know. And this is the for serial communication. For void loops, this variable which I have defined initialized it to 0. I am using here. I am reading the sensor value of the sensor which is connected to the digital pin. So I am writing digital read. We are reading the value of the sensor and storing this in this variable. Now we are using if else loop. If this variable is high, then we are turning on the LED. Then motion is detected, right? If this variable is high, then something signal is passing. This sensor is passing something to this pin. So motion is detected and the LED should turn on. Digital, right? LED is high. We are indicating that LED should turn on and providing some delay. Then again in the same loop, we are changing the we are printing this one. Initially the state is low. Initially nothing is no object is moving in this region. Then if it is slow, then it is fine. If it is high, if it is slow, then it is fine. If it is high, then it will be a problem. Then we should continuously update this variable. See, we are printing this one, motion is detected, and this will be printed here in the serial monitor, and we are updating the variable state to again high. Then if this one is not high, then nothing is detected here, then LED should turn off. LED we should turn off. LED is low and we are providing some delay, and we are updating again this one, and here we are printing the message as motion detected. Sorry, motion stopped. So no motion is there in the region where this can detect the objects. Now let's start simulating and see what happens. See, keep this code apart. You can zoom out. When you click on this sensor, you will be able to see this one. You'll be able to see this green highlighted region where the sensor, only in this region, the sensor can sense the movement of the object. See, while code in the serial monitor, first I will clear everything. See, this dark green color circular thing is my object. When I move this one, see, you can see the LED is turned on, and you can see in the serial monitor it is printed that motion is detected. If I leave it alone, then LED turns off and it is printed that motion stopped. See, motion detected and LED is turned on and stopped. Outside this region, this won't work. Only in this region, the sensor can sense the motion of any object. Outside this region, it won't be able to sense the motion of any object. Only in this region, the sensor can sense the movement of any object. Is it clear?
So is there any doubt from PIR sensor?
Yeah. Yeah, please, you can ask.
If you have no doubt, then say no. Okay.
Yeah.
Am I audible?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Then
Yes, sir.
say no. If you have any doubt, then ask. That sir, we
No
have
doubt, sir.
Sir, as in IR sensor, we are using I equals to 1 if there is no any object. So is it same for here or not?
Lalit, can you just open that circuit?
Yeah.
See what is happening here. This is this one is a PIR sensor. Okay, so we are using this sensor like we are taking the values from this sensor. Okay, so you have to write your own code, like write your own logic that how we'll utilize the input value of this sensor. Okay, you are getting what I'm saying? Like if
Yes,
this
sir.
like this sensor will give 1. Okay, 1, that means high. So you have to utilize that value. Like at that time you want that this particular LED should blink, that you have to write that code. If if the input is high, then turn on this LED. If the input is low, then turn off this LED. That's how this code is working.
But
So
sir, like here that if the value is 1, then it is showing that object is detected because there is some motion, then it is showing 1. But in IR sensor, when the value is 1, it means there is no object near that IR sensor.
see, for that you have to go actually for that you have to understand the circuitry of that particular module. Okay, after that we are explaining only basic working. So if we will explain from this, if I will explain that sensor from the scratch, then this sensor this session will extend. Okay, that's why I'm not explaining a deep circuitry of these modules. So just for now, just uh, understand that how we can utilize the values of the sensors. Okay, 0 or 1 values.
Okay, sir.
Okay, if you want to know, like if you want to understand the whole circuitry, that how the sensor is working, then you can contact me. Okay, in free time I will explain you. Okay, so this is the last sensor. So is there any doubt from this PIR?
No, sir.
No doubt. So can I ask some questions from you guys? Do not leave this meeting, okay? Can I ask some questions from this PIR sensor? What is the range of PIR? Even we also don't know that what is the range of PIR. You have to check on the back of the product, okay? When you will buy this product, this module.
Yeah,
Like
this-
sir, as you increase the range, that range in IR, can we increase that range also in PIR?
Yeah, this one also can increase the range. See, okay, let me present my screen. I will explain another, like I will show you another sensor module, tilt sensor. Okay. PIR sensor. Which one? That's in this one. Okay. So can you see these two? Do you know what is this? These two orange item, like these two are
So
potentiometers.
to change the sensor.
Change the sensor. What do we call these things? Are called a potentiometer. Okay. So this potentiometer is for sensitivity. Okay. If you want to increase the sensitivity, like if you want to increase the range of the sensor, then you have to change like you have to rotate this particular potentiometer. Okay, and another one is for time delay. Okay, this one is for time delay. If you want to, like if you want that this particular module should keep that value high for some time, like if we this module will detect any object, then you want that it should like keep the value high for some time. So for that time you can control from here, like if you want if you want that value should become high for 10 seconds or 15 seconds, so you can just rotate this particular potentiometer, right one. So by the arranging of this, by the rotation of this potentiometer, you can arrange that delay of that time. Okay,
So
for
what is the
sensitivity, yes.
so what is the meaning of rotation here? Like you told na, if we have to increase its range, we need to rotate it. How
In
to-
real life, have you seen the potentiometer?
No, sir.
I don't see. Okay, just let me. You guys are in second year. You should know what is potentiometer. For example, let's say. Uh, okay, let's say this one. Okay, middle of this one. Okay. So this potentiometer basically contains three pins. One, two, three. One pin is for one pin is for VCC, and the third pin is for ground, and the middle pin is for output. Okay. So basically, what is happening here? You already know that resistance depend on length. You guys already know that resistance depend on length.
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
If we increase the length, and resistance also will increase. So see, if we connect this one to VCC and this one to ground, okay. So if we rotate this one like this terminal from here to here, okay, what do you think? Resistance will increase or decrease? From left to right, if we rotate this terminal like this particular terminal from left to right, then what do you think? Resistance will increase or decrease?
Increase.
So resistance
Resistance
will
will
decrease.
increase.
That will increase. Okay, okay, okay. So you are saying that resistance will decrease. Okay. Actually, resistance will decrease. Okay, in this case, because length is, if you are say if you are connecting this two number pin, that will depend on that on which pin you are connecting this second number pin. Okay, if you are using as a ground, okay, as a negative terminal, that then the resistance will increase. Okay, in that case, if you are using as a positive terminal, in that case that resistance will decrease, because you will see that this right side length is decreasing. So if the length is decreasing, then the resistance also decrease. So you are getting what I am saying?
Yes, sir. Based on the
Yes, sir.
pin configuration, it will differ.
Yes, yes, yes. So this is the basic functioning of a potentiometer. Okay. See, now in this case, actually we are giving some value to this particular IC. Okay. So if we increase or decrease the resistance, okay, for that particular IC, then it will decrease or increase the sensitivity of this module. Okay. Okay, of this module, this particular potentiometer, by the changing of the resistance of this potentiometer, we can decrease or increase the sensitivity of this module. Okay, same case is for this. Like if we rotate this potentiometer left or right, then we can also increase or decrease the delay time also. Okay, so I think this is fine. Is there anything that I have to explain regarding this PIR sensor? Hello.
No, sir.
No doubt. No. Okay. Okay, so at the last of this workshop, I will explain another last sensor. Okay, module. So I have not prepared for that module. Sensor. But I will first I will explain, and then I will give you the demonstration. Okay.
Harshit, do it quickly. We are up to time.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Just give me a minute, like 5 to 10 minutes. Okay. So can you see this particular module?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Actually, this module basically is
Yeah.
used for we can just detect that this module is tilted or not. Okay, if this module is tilted, then this will give like high. If this module is not tilted, like we can say 0. Okay, 0 degree angle, then this module will give 0 as a output. Okay. So first I will explain the code, then I will give you the demonstration video. I will show you.
So is it one axis or two axis tilt?
Actually, at only 0 degree, it will give 0. Otherwise, in negative or positive direction, it will give 1. Okay. So same example, I am using the same example. LED pin, we are defining, we are assigning second number pin to LED pin variable and 3 to tilt pin. Okay. So if that pin is high, then it will low that particular LED. If that pin is low, then this will like it will keep this LED pin or that LED high. Okay, and you can see the values also from the serial monitor. Okay, just wait. Just give me a minute. Okay. Let me show you. Okay, so can you see like LED, this LED is not blinking or it is not turned on. Okay, so the angle is right now is 0 degree. Okay, if I will just tilt this sensor in positive direction, then you can see that LED is turned on. Okay, and you can see the values also. It is giving 0. If I if I will keep the 0 angle degree, then LED is turned off and the value is given 1. So I think it is clear like how this sensor is working. Tilt sensor module, right?
Yes, sir.
So it is clear like how it is working. The sensor is working.
Sir, here I equals to 0 means object is not tilted. Object is tilted.
Actually, see, for this like for this sensor also, you have to understand the basic functioning of the sensor, like how this sensor is working. Okay, just to do some research on internet, we just give starting to you guys so that you can do more research on this sensor on internet. Okay, just type tilt sensor and see the basic working like how this sensor is working, and you can see the circuitry also. Okay.
Yes, sir.
Okay. So is there any doubt? Otherwise, if there is no doubt, then we can end this session. If you have any doubt, then say yes, then say no.
No,
No,
sir.
sir.
No, sir.
No, sir.
Okay, so actually we are trying, we are giving